sprinkler, or we will require people to install the sprinkler system, we're gonna protect just a few homes. I mean, maybe there is a way to, protect all homes. I mean, install a alarm system, connect to police department, something like that. I'm just brainstorming. So I'm asking this board to do more research, postpone the vote, to allow the time for research, or at least to amend this ordinance to remove existing homes, the homes on wells, from this ordinance. Please look at villages like Northbrook and Vernon Hills that require only new construction to have these systems. I think Vernon Hills only requires homes that are attached. And I believe Buffalo Grove, Lake Grove, they require the new sprinkler system to be installed on new construction as well. So I'm just asking you to be mindful because your decisions affect our lives and our budget. And we're all in recession, the country's in recession. We don't want something that can damage our budget, the village budget, because of the fees and the property values. So I'm asking you to be mindful.
Thank you very much.
Could I ask you a question? You mentioned that there are two villages, West Dundee and St. Thomas, that have put a moratorium. Have they put a moratorium on the installation of sprinklers or a moratorium on the mandating of sprinklers? Do you know?
I don't know, but I actually spoke with both villages and they said that, and actually these moratoriums have been extended. I found the resolutions, because of the problems with the system. And I'm not sure if there were problems with the new construction or, existing homes. I mean, some villages only order a sprinkler system for new construction, like Northwood. So, I mean, if anyone is interested, this is actually
Can we get a copy
extensive
of that?
research. I brought enough for everybody.
Can I ask
Thank you.
a question of you, please?
And I'm not an
What
engineer.
is- what is
I'm an
your-
accountant. I'm a CPA. So
What is your interpretation of what we're proposing as an ordinance regarding existing homes?
well, it's very scary to me because, the way I'm reading it, let's say if I want to add to my house.
What is it you're reading?
Well, I read the discussion from the minutes, and some of my neighbors went to the recent, board meetings. And I understand that there was a demonstration, but it's all good. But we also have to be mindful of what can and cannot be done. If I'm adding a kitchen or a playroom to my house, and all of a sudden, it's 50% or something like that, I don't think it's fair for me as an existing homeowner to go through these expenses, put the system, which is gonna be only in this new part of the house anyways. So if the fire is in the second part of my house, it's not gonna help me anyway. So what's the, my well is not gonna be supporting the system. Why penalize people with the existing homes? If there is, usually the new homes in Riverwoods, they cost millions of dollars. For them, you require them often to connect to the Lake Michigan water. For that might be a good idea. I don't know. But for people who already own homes, and again, I'm on a private well, we don't have the budget for these expenses.
Yeah, but we're not talking about requiring you to install a sprinkler system.
But again, if I do an addition, I will have
Unless
to do
you
it.
go ahead and expand 50% or more, either the value or the square footage of a home. And I question where on Farner Court, I don't recall where your home is, but is there room in most of those homes to expand them 50% and stay within the codes?
I don't know. I don't think 50% is that much.
Half.
It's half your
Yeah,
house.
but if your house is 1,500 square feet, to add 700, that's not that much.
What size is your lot?
A 1 acre.
What size is your house?
About 3,000 square feet.
So you have to add over 1,500 square feet to even be looked at.
I don't know, maybe one day I'll get rich and I would like to build,
Well, if you're rich, you won't worry.
You know what, I think I'm speaking for a lot of people. There are a lot of people, all of my neighbors are really concerned, and most of them, they are on tiny home. If you recall, there are actually a lot of old homes on Farner and Stranger, that portion of Riverwoods. And we are all on wells.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
One of the things that we were discussing, if you read the board minutes, was the possibility that rather than a 50% expansion of the house, it be 100%. Somebody's gutting their house.
And I think this is a better idea than 50.
That's one of the possibilities, that's one of the things that we potentially were discussing.
Yeah, so you're protecting people who just want to do a
But
little bit more.
if you also read the minutes, you read the estimate of what it would cost to add a sprinkler system on a well, and the retention tank and pump are approximately $2,000. And that retention tank is full all the time, does not draw from your well,
Mhm.
and it pumps, God, if I remember correctly, it needs 250 gallons total in the retention tank, am I correct? And then,
According to this,
25 gallons a minute.
250 for the tank and 25 gallons a
Right.
minute, but it's charged all the time, so once that tank is full, it will pump 25 gallons a minute for 10 minutes, and then it's done. It doesn't keep sucking from your well.
well, we lose power all the time, especially with, and then we have no water. at all.
That is the circumstance that, yeah.
And according to this, and my husband, he's actually a professional engineer, he read this report, and they say, whoever wrote it said that you need a much bigger tank, there's something with the pipes, there's something with pressure.
This is
That-
rigged by the National Association of Home Builders.
And
Four of them, and they're very, very, very much against fire
Right,
sprinklers.
but I just
from a-
said my
from a
husband did
business
it, and,
standpoint.
and he's a professional engineer,
But
so.
we had a building inspector at the last meeting who was very much a proponent of sprinkler systems. And it's a 250 gallon tank. It pumps 25 gallons a minute. When the tank is empty, you're done. You don't have to worry about it stressing the well. The only time it would not work, if you don't have a backup generator, is during a power failure. That's a pretty big combination of circumstances. Yes, you have a power failure, and yes, you're gonna have a fire at that time. So 99% of the time, both of those aren't gonna hit at the same point.
Sharon,
Yeah.
it will work even without pressure, even without power for a while, because the tank is pressurized, the lighting system is pressurized.
Okay.
It'll still go on.
So it will work with a power failure, but it will not destroy your well or suck your well dry. And it is approximately $2,000 for the equipment on the well. But we're not looking to penalize existing homeowners by saying you've gotta all put in sprinkler systems, which is what a lot of the people who came to this meeting were concerned about. We don't wanna do that. On the other
That's how it
hand,
feels, but I understand there are the technicalities with the tank. I'm concerned about the system, something happening. Again, these villages have had problems because the system was freezing, was leaking. People actually incurred damage because of these.
it's possible if the
And,
system isn't properly installed, there's no
especially
question.
when you're doing it with retrofitted systems.
Well, that's why we're saying though, if you're doing a remodel, that's not a retrofit. I mean, that area that you're adding on is an area where you're not retrofitting the system, it goes in along with the build. We are not asking people to retrofit. There's never been a discussion
why can't you
of,
start with just new construction and see how it goes? And,
Because-
and then maybe expand. And
because the purpose of this is to save lives.
how many building permits do you get? 5? So
And if it's one, and if it's only one,
no, I
and
understand.
if it's only one
important.
fire,
Mhm.
and there are 3 kids in that house, and it's only one fire, there's a family in that house.
But there are other alternatives
No.
that save life. And we have a fire department at the heart of our village.